Hi. Today we have a very interesting topic, and I think that almost everyone in life has been experiencing something like this. The topic today is why you freeze, procrastinate, or shut down when the stakes are high. Okay? And I want to start with a question. Have you ever noticed when something really matters, say a big opportunity or a conversation or a launch of something or an application or a relationship that you don't want to lose, and you suddenly can't move? You prepare and then you freeze. You scroll, you clean, you overthink, you feel tired at the end of the day, or you need more clarity. I need more clarity on this topic. Let me ponder on it. How many of you heard something like this in your own brain? Or maybe not, like inside of yourself. Maybe somebody else, like your loved one, said something like this, right? You care deeply and then you avoid. Or you want it and then you procrastinate. You know what to do. You know what to do, but your body won't move. Why do I collapse when it matters most? And why do I delay the very thing that could change my life? Isn't it the question? Why does my confidence disappear completely under pressure? You wait for a right mood, and then later you hate yourself for it, right? You call it procrastination. You call it laziness. Maybe you call it self-sabotage. But what if it's not weakness? What if your nervous system is slamming the brakes, not because you're incapable, but because it thinks you are not safe? Your nervous system is not interested in your potential. It is interested in your survival, in you being safe. I want you to think about something right now. Maybe not something small, but something that really matters to you. I don't know, a conversation with somebody, a relationship, maybe money, maybe visibility, leaving something that no longer fits. Feel it in your body. Now notice, do you feel expansion or contraction when you think about this? Most high-achieving, intelligent, self-aware people don't lack clarity. They lack safety. Okay? You don't freeze because you don't want it. You freeze because your body thinks wanting is dangerous. And today we're going to understand why. And now, if technology permits, I will share slides with you, so you can also have it in front of you. So, we are going to understand and talk about it, and not psychologically, but neurologically. And tonight we're going to talk why you freeze when the stakes are high. We're going to talk why logic doesn't fix it, and why discipline Discipline makes it worse. And how to rebuild self-trust from inside your body, not from willpower, because this is not a productive issue. It is a survival response. I need you to understand that it's not a productivity issue. It's not that there is something missing. It's not that you're not learned something. No, it's a survival response. Your nervous system has one primary job: keep you alive. Not help you to succeed, not help you to shine, not help you grow. No, none of it. Just keep you alive. Okay? It's constantly scans environment and everything that is around you for safety or danger. So if there is something that your system considers to be dangerous, you're done. That's it. It says, okay, we're done here. It shuts down. This process is called neuroception. And it happens below conscious awareness. Okay? When something important appears, your system asks, is this safe? Or will I be rejected? Will I fail publicly? Will I lose attachment? Will I be exposed? When stakes are high, your body may interpret that as risk of rejection, of humiliation, risk of failure, of being seen, risk of losing attachment. And if earlier in life, when you were a child, for instance, you were criticized when you tried, right? You tried, I don't know, something new. You wanted to, show your parents that you're independent, and you walked out of the house, for instance, right? And you didn't intend to go across the, road or something, but you were criticized for even just thinking about it. Then what happens? You get scared, okay? Or you were ignored when you expressed, right? Like, for instance, you wanted, I'm trying to think of example. You were waiting for your parents, to come to your concert. And your parents, for instance, they started to fight. They ignored you on that scene. Or maybe they even didn't make it to the hall to see your performance. Okay? Or you were shamed when you failed. How come you didn't get 100% on this test? Shame on you. You've been learning it all yesterday night. How come you didn't do it? Shame on you. Right? Or don't yell. Our neighbors are hearing it all. Shame on you for raising your voice. Right? Or don't speak loud. People are looking at you. Shame on you. How many of you heard something like this? Or you were loved only when you performed. Oh, you got A. Or, we take you to the movie because you got A. Right? I'm giving you examples as children because it's, it's more vivid how and what's happening. And then after all of those experiences, trying for you and for many others become dangerous. If the answer is unclear for your body just shifts states. Okay? So if something is not understood or unclear, your body just say, don't move. Stay small, stay safe. And you call it procrastination. Don't do it. You're going to get in trouble. And you don't do it. And you call it procrastination, or somebody else calls it procrastination. Freeze is not weakness. Freeze is ancient survival biology. Research shows that when action feels impossible, for whatever reason, the body often defaults into mobilization, especially if earlier attempts in your life at action did not lead to safety. So your system learned expression is dangerous. So when something matters right now, your body pulls the emergency brake. Not because you're incapable. Not because you procrastinate or are lazy. No, because it remembers. This is not your mindset. This is a simple biology. Your nervous system operates through 3 primary states. One is safe, open, connected, and the other is fight, when you push over or overwork, or flight, when you avoid or distract. Okay? And freeze, that full of paralysis and procrastination and not doing something, or collapse, when it's shame, numbness, depression, or just shut down. Procrastination is often a nervous system freeze. It's not a character flaw. I want you to hear it out. Procrastination is not a character flaw. A lot of people think that there is, but it's not. It's a nervous system freeze. Okay? So what freeze actually is or looks like? Well, it doesn't look dramatic. It looks very functional. You might feel tired when you sit down to work. You may feel you suddenly need snacks, or you overplan until you execute, or you research endlessly, or you start doing small, meaningless tasks, or you just feel blank or feel numb, or you may wait for a perfect time, or you prepare, and you never execute, or you crash after momentum, or you feel exhausted before you even begin. You avoid emails that matter. You ghost opportunities. Right? What else? Or you shrink when success approaches. And then we have the shame cycle. Freeze, delay, consequences, self-attack, then lower confidence, and more freeze. Okay? So this is the cycle that we have at the end. Or you feel panic and then collapse. And here's the painful part. You still care. You deeply care. But your body overrides your desire, then creates internal betrayal. And over time, you stop trusting yourself. And this is the most awful thing. Because when your body understands that you're not there, and your nervous system stop trusting yourself, you start thinking, I never follow through. I can't rely on myself. Something is wrong with me. Or something similar. But your system is not broken. It's protecting you from something it once survived. Okay? So, why high stakes trigger freeze? Isn't it an interesting question? Well, because high stakes equal visibility, and visibility equal exposure, and exposure in trauma history of every one of us equal danger. For example, you were criticized as a child, right? Like I already mentioned, you were criticized for either behavior or maybe you're not doing something. You just criticized. How come you spilled this? Right? Didn't I tell you? Oh my God. Or punished for mistakes. You made a mistake that you maybe even not consider it to be a mistake, but then you came home and something happened, you got punished. You were shamed for expression. Okay? When I was a young adult, I realized that I have this in me, that I was always told that don't put on you this, or don't dress like this, you're going to be looked at. And I remember that one day, my parents were shocked. And I remember one day I went to bed and I was like, this is so wrong. This is just so wrong. I need to break this pattern. So for a few days, I was thinking, how am I going to break this pattern? And then, I came up with the weirdest thing. So I decided, and it was cold. I don't remember, was it winter or spring, but it was cold, pretty cold. So I decided to dress absolutely ridiculous. So what I did was I was having a nightgown. So, and I had a very long hair. So I decided to put something warm under this gown and put, like my hair, like under a specific cap. I mean, just as if, like I was doing makeup and and I stopped in the middle and I just ran out, like to grab a gallon of milk or whatever. So I was dressed ridiculously. And I decided, and it was morning, and I decided that, okay, I'm going to use my appearance to overcome all of it. Okay, so, and I decided that I'm going to take a public transportation and I'm going to honestly, go from point A to point B in looking that ridiculous. Okay, and I knew that people are going to look at me, and I knew that they're going to, have ideas about why I am dressed like this, but I decided that, I have to overcome it because I was shamed. As a child, I was constantly shamed for expression, for my own expression. Okay? So that trauma, that's exposure equal danger because you may be shamed, and that also creates it. Or love withdrawn under a failure. Okay, you did something wrong, you fail exam and your mom is not talking to you. Or you did something and you made a mistake and it all went to, somewhere, and your mom now says, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I'm not going to. So for you, it's a love that had been withdrawn because you failed before. Okay? Or success that made others uncomfortable. You say this is weird? No. This is one of the actually pretty common things, and I can tell you my own story, that I had it in me for a long period of time. My father couldn't take other people's success. He constantly was uncomfortable. So, and the way how I figured it out was we would watch something, I don't know, like football or figure skating or something that requires people to, put a lot of effort into doing something right? When you're dancing on a ring, you need to make sure that your movements are specific, everything else is specific, because they are watching, they assess your success. Okay, so, and my father would be constantly whether it's football or figure skating or dancing or something that always, I was I couldn't understand why he's doing it, but he would be constantly say, for instance, if there is a dance, he'd be especially if it's skating, figure skating, he would be especially if it's a pair and the man should, they would put, the woman high up, and they would be doing something some sort of period or whatever, he would be constantly drop her, and I would be looking at him, and I would be why he's even want him to drop her, why he wants a failure. And he would constantly say something like this when there is a game, right? Miss it, or drop her, or fall, something like this. So at first, of course, I didn't understand what it was, but later on, when I started learning about stuff, I understood that success of other people makes my dad uncomfortable up until today. He cannot take other people's success calmly, okay? So when things like this are happening, your body learns that being seen is unsafe. So you try to launch something, you speak publicly, you ask for more money, you step into leadership, you fall in love again, and your body activates that survival mechanism. Okay? You need to understand that your body is not afraid of failure. It's afraid of exposure. Okay? So now I want to talk about this, that a lot of people, they try to tackle this issue through force, okay? They try to solve this freeze with force. They try to create sticker schedules, they shame themselves, they use productivity hacks, or they threaten themselves, or they compare themselves to high performance. But here's what happens. If your nervous system is already in threat, what do you think it's going to feel when you put more pressure? More pressure equals more threat. And threat deepens that freeze. So the problem isn't discipline. The problem is that your body associates growth with danger. Right? Imagine trying to yell at a child who is hiding, say, under the table. Okay, this is what you're doing internally. The part of you that shuts down is not lazy. It's just scared. And shame also does not create safety. What does create safety is movement. When stakes are high, it often activates attachment memory. Okay? Because high stakes usually mean, as we spoke before, that it's visibility, judgment, change, potential rejection, potential abandonment. It's scary. It's a lot. Neuroscience shows that the same brain region that processes physical pain also activates during social rejection. Your body does not distinguish clearly between I might fail to this launch and I may lose connection. So it just freezes to prevent loss. Because from an evolutionary standpoint, loss of connection once meant death. Okay? This is why logic doesn't fix it. You cannot outthink survival wiring. Just cannot. Simply cannot. So when people say, well, I lack consistency, I sabotage myself, try to replace it with you are protecting yourself from something your body believes could cost your connection. Think about something that you have been procrastinating about for some time. And think about it. And then explain yourself, I'm not doing it because somehow my body believes that doing this could cost me connection. Or it's going to be an exposure of some sort. Once again, I want to specify that, and I want you to come away with understanding, and I'm going to repeat it once again, that high stakes often losing belonging, being judged, outgrowing family, being resented, being alone. Okay? So high stakes often activate attachment wounds. Why? Well, because success means visibility. You are visible for a lot of people. And visibility means exposure. People can look at you, at your life, inside of your life. They're going to judge. They're going to do something. They may get angry with you. They may hurt you. So exposure once meant danger. And even right now, for a lot of people, it's danger too. Or success means outgrowing someone. I'm doing something better than my husband. I'm more successful. And he cannot just take it. Okay? So outgrowing someone once meant abandonment. Because some people, when they were successful, they were abandoned by their spouse or somebody else. So it's in your system. Or speaking up means conflict. Speaking up always means something, okay? And conflict once meant emotional withdrawal. How many of you can just speak up your thinking or your thoughts or your opinion? No, shh, don't. Okay, because it's conflict. Not everybody can stand up to this. Your nervous system remembers what your conscious mind forgot. So when you freeze before something important, it's often not about the task itself. It's about what this task represents. Okay, which is very, very important for you to understand. So, okay. So how we're actually going to rebuild this self-trust? Okay, so you also need to understand that your system would rather stall your success than risk losing connection. It's very, very, very important to understand. So what actually rebuilds self-trust? Not motivation, not discipline system, not productivity hacks. Rebuild safety around visibility, failure, success, expansion. Okay? And self-trust is not built by pushing. It's built by surviving exposure safely. Okay? Self-trust is not I always perform perfectly. Self-trust is when I feel scared, I do not abandon myself. It's the opposite of shame. It's internal, secure attachment. And secure attachment with yourself changes everything. So once you create this inside of yourself, you can take risks, you recover faster no matter what's happening in your life, you stop collapsing after mistakes, you stop waiting for motivation because your system no longer associates action with danger. Okay? Rebuilding self-trust from the inside out. Now, the important part is how do we change this? And we change it not by forcing, but by building capacity. How do we do it? Regulate before execute. So before you do the scary task, you need to feel your feet, slow your exhale, place a hand on your chest, lengthen your spine. Okay? Signal safety first. So action follow regulation. Those are the simple, very simple grounding exercises that regulate your nervous system. Make the task smaller than you fear. Your nervous system needs proof, not promises. Instead of, I will finish the whole proposal, or I will finish the whole, I don't know, a whole book, right? Or I will redo the whole documents, okay? The whole bunch of documents. Try, I will open one document. I will try to finish one page of this proposal. I'll finish one chapter of this book. Try this. Success builds safety memory. Once you start doing this, your brain starts remembering you've done it. Success builds safety memory. Okay? Separate past from present. When you feel freeze, ask, how old does this feel? Often the intensity is younger than the moment. So then say internally, that was then. But this is now, right now. I don't need to be doing this. It sounds simple, very simple, but it updates your nervous system. For instance, I'm afraid of losing connection. How old is this? Well, 6 years old. What was happening when you were 6 years old? Well, I lost my friend because I didn't give something to her, or, like I was first in the class or something. Okay. And, well, but what about now? Now I'm 50. I'm not that person anymore. I'm an adult. I can take care of it. Now it's not the same situation. And then once you understand what it is, it updates your nervous system. Okay? Track completion. After you complete even a small task, you need to pause. Feel it. Tell your body, we did it, and we are still safe. This rewires self-trust neurologically. You were never lazy. You were adaptive. Your body chose survival, but you are not in that old environment anymore. And your nervous system is plastic. Neuroplasticity means patterns are not permanent. Remember this. Our brain is about neuroplasticity, and patterns are not permanent. Every regulated breath, every micro completion, every moment you choose compassion over shame, you are rewriting. You are rebuilding self-trust from the inside out. And when your body feels safe, you will not need discipline. You will move. Because expansion no longer feels like a danger. It's not a quick fix. It does require time. But once you get it, you will feel the beauty of it. You will feel the ease of your life. Your life will be so much fuller. So today, I want to leave you with this. You do not freeze because you are weak. You freeze because at some point in your life, trying was unsafe for you. But now you're not that younger version of yourself anymore. And safety can be built. Not through force, not through discipline, not through comparison, but through micro moments of regulation, through tiny completed steps, through compassion instead of criticism. And every time you choose to stay with yourself instead of shaming yourself, you rebuild trust from the inside out. And that changes not only your productivity, but your relationship your visibility, your money, your creativity, your leadership, your life. Your system is protecting you. And it can learn something new as well. So before I stop presentation, okay, I want to finish with this. We were talking about procrastination a lot, and I want to say one more time, procrastination is often a freeze response. Okay, growth feels unsafe to a nervous system trained on protection. So you don't lack discipline, you lack safety. If you're tired of freezing when it matters most, this work is about helping your nervous system to move again. Because doing nothing doesn't protect your potential. It protects the old fear, and as a result, nothing is changing in your life. But the thing is that you don't need to live from that fear anymore. It doesn't do anything for you. Rewriting yourself to change something that doesn't serve you well anymore is one type of work I'm doing with my clients. So you can see right now on the screen few options that I'm offering that might be interesting for you to try. I am not going to talk about them because they're kind of self-explanatory. The only option that I am going to talk is this monthly WhatsApp support group. This one is something that I strongly recommend if you are not sure if you are ready for work or not ready for work. This one gives you a lot of information, a lot of tools, a lot of support from my side. It's not therapy, it's not work per se, but it will answer a lot of questions of yours, and you will follow everything that I'm doing. You will be able to ask the question about your situation, and you will be having answers. This is a very, very good option if you want to stay connected, but you are not sure that you need something deeper right now. So please don't ignore it. It's very, very, very interesting option. So please don't hesitate to contact me to ask anything. I'd be happy to share everything I know and help you in any way I can. I'm here for you. Thank you so much, and I hope this information was interesting for you. I'll see you soon.